Hi, I'm Jamie, and this is my very first video on my channel. I decided for the first time out I would review and kind of unbox or unbag the new Hobonichi Techo planner for 2023 English version. I just got this about a week ago through seeing some reviews and some blog posts, some pictures online, and hearing that they arrived at one of my favorite stationery stores nearby at Phaidon in Cambridge, Ontario. I've heard a lot about them. They have kind of cult classic status, so to speak. So I thought, why not dive in and give it a shot? See how it goes, see what I think, and see what kind of details make this so special. Now, some people hesitate maybe to get one of these because their price point is a bit higher than a typical journal. I paid with tax included, etc., about $62 Canadian. So a little bit pricier than maybe a typical journal or day planner that you might get, but it seems to have a lot of following around the world, and the paper used inside is the Tomo River, and that, of course, among fountain pen enthusiasts is very well sought after. So let's take a look and see. I decided to get this basically the original Techo planner because of the size. For my first time out, I thought, I want something that fits in my pocket, that I can use anytime, anywhere, with one of my favorite Coeco fountain pens that just will fit in my pocket, and then I can draw or journal, check my agenda from anywhere. Just for size comparison, here's my Samsung phone, and so you see how this could fit pretty easily in my pocket or bag without taking up much space or feeling that heavy. Because of the paper used, you do have a nice thin profile, relatively speaking, for the amount of pages included in this journal. So in turn, let's take a look just on the externals before opening up. It's very typical of Japanese design, very nice, minimalistic, simple and plain, but beautiful. Nice transparent window here to show you the design on the cover inside before you even open it, so giving you some expectation. And then on the back, we've got a bit of detail. We've got some information about the customizable time grid, the dinner icon, the 4mm graph paper, and the mini calendar as well. So you get a little bit of detail before you even open up, and a scan code if you want to learn more. Then of course we have open. So how about we do that? And let's see what we've got inside. So one of the things I wanted this for is because I've started using fountain pens over the last couple of years, and I really wanted to see how something like this would do with my use of fountain pens. As I mentioned, Coeco Sports being my favorite. So first, when we open it here, make sure I've got everything. We've got a couple of other things in this bag other than just the book itself. This Life book, Hobonichi Techo 2023. Cute. Not sure what this is all about. I think it's showing some of the other details and the other options. This cousin is the one that I was tempted to buy, but as I said, it's a bit larger, wouldn't really fit in my pocket. And for my first time out kind of testing this, I'm not sure I wanted to spend $30 more on it either. Here we've got a bit of, I guess, information or ways to kind of guide you in using your Techo. So nice and handy. Appreciate that. Here we've got, as I mentioned, the Tomo River paper. Talking about testing that paper, coming to the 2024 edition. So you can test it right here, which is kind of smart and gets people building anticipation for next year's version. Here we have another insert that's telling you about what you're holding. It's a Japanese daily planner, and it's giving you a little bit of information about it. Really nice paper, actually, in design. Nice little embossing here, and then Japanese on the back. So far, so interesting. All right, so let's look at the planner. First thing you notice, as I mentioned, nice and thin, despite the number of pages inside. Here's a comparison with my Coeco pen, for example. The cover is a nice textured cover. I do not believe this is not leather, but it's made to look like leather. And so it looks nice and durable to use for the year. Again, my hands are pretty big, but you'll see it's a nice size, and which is what I was looking for and why I bought this version. Now opening it up, you'll see as well, like this is pretty solid cover. It is kind of like a cardboard, but nice and thick and durable. And once we get in here, you'll see, you can hear it too. And one of the things apparently that people love about this paper is the so-called crackle. So it is a nice, beautiful paper. We've got here the year laid out for us in 2024, right from the beginning, to give you sort of a full overview of the year to come. And you might want to circle or mark specific days if you want, or just have it as a handy reference. Here we've got 2022 laid out, the year laid out starting in December this year and going forward. So here I would suppose you would use these pages to kind of mark some important things maybe in advance so that you can reference them, like people's birthdays, for example, or anniversaries, special days that you don't want to miss. What I like about this, and you're seeing this maybe thinking, well, I can just put that on my phone, which I do. I put people's birthdays on my phone or else I will forget. But I like the analog part of this, that I'm going to be doing this by hand, and it will have, I think, a more hand-to-mind connection for me of my year and how I approach it, plan it, and experience it. So this starts in December 2022, which I did not know, which actually makes me kind of happy, because the disappointment I had when I bought this was that I can't use it until January, even though I was excited to start. So this is nice that I get ability to get started in a couple of months. And we've got here these kind of monthly layouts from month to month. Again, I would assume here that you can use this to, I don't know, plan out in advance, maybe some goals, some vacations, some things that are a little bit more involved that you want to lay out in advance. In terms of detail, before we go further, it's a nice dotted line grid here, which I love. Most of the notebooks that I buy are usually dot grid, because I like that they give you a little bit of structure, but also some freedom, and don't kind of stay in your face, so to speak. Again, what a nice detail here is that the weeks are numbered on the left side here of each week, and the Sundays have been put in red to kind of stand out. So if you start your week sort of basically on Sunday, or consider Sunday as your special day of rest, or whatever you want to call it, you've got that highlighted for you. So once we're past these monthly 2-page spreads, which actually I think is actually quite smart, and you've got some border here to add in some extra information if you want, then let's see what comes next. So after December of 2022, or 2023, sorry, I've got January 2024 with a nice kind of grade sort of sitting in the background year here to just has a nice detail. Also, you'll notice here that full moon is put here with that dot. We've got February 2024, March 2024, and then we've got back to another kind of open grid page that says turning the page to a new year. I would assume that for people who maybe like to reflect on their year in December of this year before January starts, this would be a perfect place to do that, and also think and reflect about the year that is to start, and what you maybe want to accomplish, what you're looking forward to, writing down maybe some goals and visions for yourself here, gives you a little bit of that freedom. So now after that, we get into the actual month. January 1st starting on a Sunday, so it is in this kind of reddish orange color. I do like that. I also like that it has coming up for January. So again, it's keeping you sort of connected to the month upcoming, what's going on, what's coming up in that month. So it might be this friend's birthday, this anniversary, this concert, whatever you might want to put here, or maybe goals that you want to accomplish in this month, and then you can turn back and see that. So when you have a page here for a day, it's 1 day per page. You've got, of course, the date, you've got the day of the week, and then you've got the week number as well, and then also the moon phase. So a little bit of detail there, and just very minimal but simple and useful is 12 noon, and then a dinner time symbol as was mentioned on the back. So it kind of splits up your day to morning and afternoon without having to keep you tied to a particular schedule. And this is something I like because my days are not usually routine and the same day to day to day. So I don't always have something at 10 a.m., for example, or always something at 2 p.m. So this is going to allow me to kind of split my days into morning and afternoon and put what's going on according to my day, however I would like, and or maybe make notes on what I did in the morning on this day or what I did in the afternoon to kind of look back at the year. You've got a little quote at the bottom of the pages as well. This one is, please is an appointment to say thank you. So we've always got some quotes here. And actually this little detail I like as well. So when you have the little calendar chart in the bottom right, which maybe I can lift up a little bit here, it circles the day on the month where you are. So I think that's a nice little detail to help you see that this is where you are in any given month. So if I go forward a little bit, for example, you'll see here that for this 2-page spread of Wednesday, Thursday, the 4th and 5th, the 4th and 5th are circled on your calendar. I think that's very helpful because I probably as well as I do, that time is very abstract, and sometimes we don't really know where we are in the month because time can go so quickly, it seems. So I think I will find this quite helpful. So with this 2-page spread here, I think this gives you a nice idea of what you're dealing with. Again, for size comparison, I'll just lay my phone here so you can see what the size comparison is. So for me, when I looked at this, I thought this is enough for me to write down, maybe appointments, chores, things that I've got to do here, but also space for maybe doing a little sketch if I happen to be at a coffee shop or something like that as well. So gives me some flexibility, but also, like I said, nice small size to be able to fit in my pocket and carry around and be portable. So I do like the way that this is laid out. I do notice as well that these corners are rounded, which I think it may seem like a small detail, but I can imagine that this is going to make sure it eliminates that kind of curled up corner page thing that happens when you are shoving this in your pocket or in a book day after day. I would assume that is going to make that a little bit better for you if you don't like your corners getting beat up. Another thing to point out here is that we've got the months sort of tabbed here on the side, so it's kind of easy to go and see, okay, what about, for example, March? And I can dig in that way, or I can go to June, for example. So I think that's nice to have these tabs on the side to help you kind of get to where you need to be quite easily. Because as I noticed, there is not a bookmark sort of situation with this. You could obviously add your own, but we don't have those sort of threaded or fabric bookmarks that often you'll find with a daytime planner. So far as you see, I do like this design. I like that it's simple, but gives you some flexibility. There's some smart design choices here, while also allowing me to take control of this the way that I want to and the way that works for me. That's often one reason why it's so difficult for me to find and buy a planner, is because they're often designed for a certain use or purpose that sometimes doesn't really fit the way that I approach my day. So I do like this. So I'll just flip through here a little bit to show you, how it looks pretty much uniform and the same month to month, day to day. And let's see what happens when we get to the end of the year, end of December here. Almost there. Again, I do really like these Sundays that they're highlighted with a different color. Now I've got to the end. I've got a dot grid here to give me some freedom. So I've got a few pages here at the end. Looks like there's about 10 or so of these pages. Taking notes, adding extra things, putting thoughts here, whatever you want to do with them. So again, a little bit of freedom for you to use how you want. And then we've got important contacts where you can put here. Not sure I would personally use that since I do have that on my phone, but maybe it's something you want to put for emergency contact or something. Here we've got international size charts. Not sure personally if I would use that much as well because I'm not someone to go shopping for clothes very much. That's not something I enjoy. We've got a little ruler here at the back, which I could find actually probably be helpful once in a while where you're out and about and you don't have something like that. Conversion table, I would use this, I'm pretty sure, because although we are metric here in Canada, we also talk in feet and inches and imperial system a lot. So I find often when we're doing recipes, for example, from American cookbooks or blogs, we will have to usually ask Siri to see if we can convert. So maybe this is something I could use instead. Who knows? And then we have here my 100. So not sure what I would use this for. I like this. Just thinking out loud, this might be tracking, you know, the movies you see, the things you want to accomplish this year, which 100 is actually quite substantial. If you're able to accomplish 100 things here, then more power to you. But who knows? You could use this for many things. I mean, I go to a lot of concerts, but I don't go to 100. So it might be a way just to track 100 creative things that I do this year, or 100 fun things or experiences. Who knows? But I actually think this is pretty cool. Not sure what the check boxes are for, so maybe this is for people who want to accomplish 100 things and they check them off, but you have options. I do like the simple but minimal addition of the black circle around every 10. Smart, very smart. Here we've got some Japanese language information with some cute little drawings. This is great because I was actually looking at booking a trip to Japan this year, so this might come in handy for me. Talking about some sweets and food in Japan. That's pretty cool, pretty handy and interesting. And then some personal notes here that if you were to lose this, that hopefully someone will return it to you. And, oh, something I did not know. Your unique Hobonichi Techo number is etc. So they've all got a unique number. I did not know that. So that adds to the pleasure of having this little journal. So overall, I am impressed. I do like this. I like the size. I like the minimal design, as I've mentioned. I like the freedom it affords me to do sort of the things that I would like. Little disappointed I have to wait a couple of months to really use it. But how about we do a test right now on how this paper performs with a fountain pen. I will grab two here, my Faber-Castell looms. I have a couple here, and one is a little bit thicker than the other. So let's see how this goes with the Tomo River paper. So I'll just put my name here. Writes well, no problem there. I will put a little bit of detail here. Ontario, Canada. Yeah, I do like this. This is great paper. Let's see what it looks like on the other side. So it doesn't bleed, and this is what I've heard about this paper. It's nice and thin and has that crackle, but it doesn't bleed. There's a little bit of a shadow, but really, that's great. I'm quite impressed that this thin of a paper turns out like that. So let's grab my other loom here with a thicker nib and a wetter ink and see if that makes any difference. So fax, that's kind of hilarious. So let's put a fax number just for fun. I love this ink, by the way. Let's see, I don't even know. I'm just going to make up any number here. So if you try to fax this number, not my fault if nothing happens. And I'll just make a little design here to see what happens with that as well in terms of the bleed or the shadow on the other side. Let's see. So flip this back. Well, again, does not bleed through. Can't really see much of that at all, actually. The the kind of shadowing is very minimal for a paper this thin. So this book is nice and light. I would say, let's see here. I'll grab my phone. Actually, I'm not kidding. I think my phone is heavier than this journal. So that's kind of amazing that this book with so many pages for the entire year, to serve you for the entire year, is really this thin and this light. So overall, I'm impressed. I'm looking forward to using this. Like I said, I wish I didn't have to wait a couple months till 2023. Not that I want to rush the end of the year, but I'm looking forward to using this and trying it out for the year as my first time Hobonichi. I hope this video was helpful for you as someone who maybe is like me and has never thought of buying one of these before. This is, as I said, my first video. I maybe rambled a little bit too much, but please let me know in the comments what you think, if you have any suggestions for improving, and just maybe some general comments on what you think of this video, the Hobonichi, if you use one. I hope the videos that come up in the future will be helpful for you as well. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your day, and may you have an organized and fun 2023. All right, thanks.